I'm Wendy.
I'm Marty.
And we've bought a Ford Transit. We're going to convert it into a camper van.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Sawdust dancing in the afternoon sun. Steel frame vaulted, yeah, we're nearly done. Tape measure stretch from the floor to the roof. Every sweat stain hammer swing is the proof. Oh, we're building a dream on 4 rubber wheels. Marty and Wendy, you know how it feels. From a shell of a van to a home on the line, we'll be chasing the horizon in the sweet sunshine. Chasing the horizon in the sweet sunshine. Insulation tucked in every corner just right. Plywood walls going up through the night. Marty's got the wiring, Wendy's got the stain. Dreaming of the mountains and the desert rain. Next stop, the world. Yeah, let's roll.
How are you? How you all going? It's good. Alright, today we've got a bit of an update. We've done lots of stuff since the last video, and hopefully I can show you around, see what we've done. We've still got a lot of work to go, but anyway, let's see. What we've done here is we put a little control panel in here, so we got, oh, it's all new. We got cigarette, we got USBs, and we got, can't get this thing off, that's going to be annoying. I replaced the USB thingies, the King's ones, 65 watt PD and QC 3.0 chargers, so that, you know, give us a little bit more power, hopefully. The King's ones are pretty hopeless. I think they're like, I think they're the standard, you know, 2 amp or whatever. So hopefully they'll give us a bit more power, which is good. All right, first of all, we built a pull-out kitchen. So down here, this is our seat. This folds down and we can sit on that, which is pretty cool. Here's our drawer system. And this comes out. Like that. That can open up. Got our cooking space. Got some drawers. These are a bit clunky, but you know, I think they'll work. So yeah, we got a little drawer here. Pretty cool. The bench comes out as well. Up in here, we got some lights. Come on, we got some lights over here. See through there. Got some storage space. This folds down so we can sit on the seat. Got our kitchen. Don't mind the mess. Got a nice big sink. Got our smelly balls. It's pretty important. What do we got? So we've put doors. We've put doors. I don't think you've seen these. We put doors on all our kitchen. And we got stuff is starting to accumulate. Haven't done the plumbing yet. That's next on the agenda. Looking forward to that. We've just gone with the magnets for the moment. They feel pretty strong. We'll see how we go after the first road trip we do. But, you know, storage. I don't know. Maybe we can put more magnets in, make it stronger if they start coming open. We've got our fridge. Oh, that's locked. I think it might be in here. Fridge. Alright. So yeah, a nice big fridge. 160 litres, I think. Plenty of storage for frozen foods. Got the microwave. That's all set up. Got 2 induction cookers in there. That one. And then we got our pantry. So, you know, hopefully we can store some of our foods in here. So we've got 5 doors there. This bottom one, just a little cubby house. I don't know we're going to fit much in there. That's the beginning of the wheel well. So, every little spot, you know, storage space. Storage is premium, I think. Then we got over here, this is our clothes cupboard at the moment. So we got little baskets, we got some drawers that we put in. It should be pretty good. And then this one, so the top one's mine, apparently. The bottom one is Wendy's. She's got 3 drawers. You'll notice we had to cut the top out of the door so that it could clear the light, you know. We're not carpenters and we're not engineers, so, you know, we're just making this stuff up as we go. And then this bottom cupboard is just going to be storage space, but it's a bit stuck. We have to trim that down a little bit and see it sitting there. That's okay. This is our diesel heater. Diesel heater is just in there. Under here is just another little cubby house, just a spot to store random stuff. There's that one there. And we got under here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it properly, but over there we've got our hot water system. That one's there. Over here we've got the diesel heater, and there's the exhaust. We've got to exhaust that through the floor at some stage. Might get that done this weekend. We've got the King's fridge at the back and the big King's sliding drawer right there. Still got some work to do under here. Then up here we got some more doors. This is going to be our table. That's going to go somewhere here, but we haven't worked out exactly how we're going to do that. This door, this is the door that's going to cover this. And this door here is going to cover this, but before we put this door on, this is going to open upwards like this. This is above our electrical cabinet. So we've got the 240 volt here, which comes from the other side of this wall. So we can plug in from the back or the outside. If we go to a caravan park, we can plug in. And that comes through here. That's our main breaker for the 240. And that runs into this on 2. We switch that to 2. That is outside power. 0 is no power. And 1 is inverter. So that turns off the 240 volt and runs our 12 volt DC to all the power points. We've got 5 double power points. There's one there, one at the sink, 2 at the sink. That's 3. There's one up the top here behind the induction cookers for the microwave, powering the microwave. We got one down the back there for just random whatever, you know. So yeah, 5 power points. These are the twin pole breakers for the solar panels. So we've got 3 panels on the roof, front, mid and rear. And this is for an external solar panel that we can, like a blanket, that we can plug in and put on the ground out the side. So that'll give us, these are 200 watts each, and we're going to get a 400 watt blanket or external panel. So that'll give us 1,000 watts of solar. This is a rat's nest. Put your comments below what you think. We have 2 300 amp hour batteries, giving us 600 amp hours total, which comes up through here into our main isolating switch. We have a Victron 500 amp smart shunt. This runs into our 400 amp fuse, which is, it's a C-class fuse. That was, the fuse itself was $90, and the casing for it was $75 or something. Clearly the most expensive fuse I've ever bought. Into our Lynx distributor. Comes out of the Lynx distributor to all the things, but also to our 3000 watt inverter. We have 6 chargers. Each solar panel gets their own charger, slightly smaller chargers. I thought about going the 50s, but you know, it's just not necessary. The 30s were like $120 cheaper than the 50s, and we can double our capacity. A 30 amp Victron charger can handle up to 400 watts of solar, and the front, mid and rear, they've only got 200 watt panels on them. So we can get bigger panels in the future if we want, or we can add more panels to them if we want. This is our AC charger. So when we're plugged in from an external power source and we switch this to 2, this is the charger, the AC charger. So that'll put 30 amps an hour in, down through here. Then we've got our DC to DC charger. Let me see if I can turn some lights on here. There we go. This is our DC charger. A little bit disappointed. It was only like 2 months after we bought this DC charger when Victron brought out their new XS charger, and it's half the size, produces half the wasted heat. So you know, we'll see how this one goes. They do get hot. They get very hot when driving, so we might just have to, you know, regulate the amount of time that it's running. You know, we can turn it on and off on the apps on our phone. I mean, we got heaps of solar, heaps of battery, so, you know, it's not something we're going to have to rely on, but, you know, it's there for emergencies, and that's about it. This is an emergency. You know, if we don't have access to 240 volt for charging, and the sun has been shipped for, you know, 2 weeks straight, you know, we can use this, but it's not something that we're going to rely on. And if we do find that we are using the DC charger often, and it's, you know, getting too hot, you know, we'll upgrade to the new Victron DC charger. All right, what do we got? So up here, up in this area, I have to build I want to build a panel in here that'll only come to about halfway, or a bit more than halfway. There'll be a panel here, and that'll be our control panel that will have a little tablet screen where we can see all of our charging gear, all of our whole Victron system. This whole system creates its own network. So each component talks to all the other components, and the smart shunt manages the charging power from all the different components, which is pretty cool. The screen that we'll have up here will give us all the information from this system. I mean, it's working now, and it works really well. I love it. We're going to put a panel in here that's going to have the display on it. We'll also have our switch. Switches will sit in the panel. Our remotes, this is for the hot water system, that'll sit in the panel. This is the remote for the inverter, that'll sit in the panel. Anything else that we want easy access to will go in this panel. I only want the panel to come to about here so that we can easily access all our breakers and the inverter switch, or the 240 volt switch, you know. So that's got to get that done. We've got 2 safety hubs and an accessory fuse box. We've got our negative bus bar, which is grounded to the chassis, and we've got a positive bus bar that, you know, that's just there. I got this because I ran out of spots to plug in accessories, so I got this, and it's got plenty of space for more stuff as we go. If we need, you know, if we need to plug in more stuff, it'll go here. This steps the power up to 100 watts for Starlink. So that's our Starlink cable, which runs all the way through the roof to the back. Up on top, we've got Starlink mounted on the roof racks. This here, this is pretty cool. This is a remote switch. So if we have a look in here, this is a little remote switch. Now we've got on the van, as you'll see, we've got spotlights. There's 2 spotlights on the side. There's 2 spotlights on the back. And there's 2 spotlights on this side as well. As you can see, I've wired all 6 spotlights into series, so they all run into here. All 6 spotlights run into here. Well, there's 2 reasons why we've got those spotlights. The first one is a little bit of security. So if at night, if there's weird noises happening or whatever, we can turn the spotlights on, all the spotlights on around the van, and just just light the whole area up around the van. The other reason we've got those spotlights is if we pull into camp at night, or if we're traveling down a dirt road in the bush, I want to be able to see all the way around the van while we're moving, make sure we're not hitting any rocks or trees or whatever. Now, in the scenario of driving down, a dirt track in the bush at night, we need to be able to turn those lights on from the cabin. So for that, I would need a switch in the cabin. That would be ideal. So I need a switch in the cabin. Then with the scenario of, we've got some strange stuff happening outside the van at 2 o'clock in the morning, and, we want to see what's going on or whatever, turn the spotlights on. We don't want to have to get out of the van to turn the spotlights on. So we need a switch inside the living area of the van. Ideally, we would need a switch near the bed. So we can just lean over, flick a switch, turn all the spotties on. I love wiring. I love DC wiring. As you can tell, I've put a lot of effort into this. Some would say not enough effort. I should have hidden the wiring behind the panel to make it neater, and but I'm the only one that has to look at it. My point is, I enjoy that sort of stuff, but wiring up an array of spotlights to 2 separate switches, one in the back of the van, one in the front of the van, I thought, no, let's have one switch with 2 remotes. We can keep a remote in the cab, and we can keep a remote beside the bed. So we just push a button, whether we're in the cab or in bed, we can turn the spotlights on or off. So that's what that is, and it works fine. This here looks like a shower drain. It's not a shower drain. It is a vent that vents to the outside of the van. As you can see right there. And that is, I don't know how well it's going to work. But if it starts getting warm in here, I can turn that van on, and it will suck the hot air out of this cabinet to the outside. I don't know how good that's going to be, but we're giving it a crack. This big door is going on here. Right, so it's going to cover all of this. We do have to, by law, vent the battery box. It has to be sealed. So we've got a cover that's going to go on the front, and then we're going to, not sure how or where at the moment, but we're going to cut a hole in the top, and we're going to run a piece of pipe from the top of the battery box down through the floor. Either here or out through the side, or maybe out through here, in through here, in through the back, and then out through the floor somewhere underneath the bed. Not sure yet, but that has to be done for compliance. All right, what else have we got? We've got 2 Sirocco fans on one side. Bit weird, huh? Well, originally the bed was going to be east-west. We put the fans in knowing or thinking we're going to be sleeping this way. But I mean, I'm 5'11" and I do not fit across here. Not even close. I'm watching videos of people converting transit vans, and they're going east-west, and some of these people are saying that they're over 6 foot and they comfortably lie across here. I call bullshit. There is no way I could sleep comfortably east-west. So we changed the format of the bed to north-south. So we're going to sleep this way, but we'd already installed the fans. So they're pretty good fans. Like you can move them out. They move all different ways and all different configurations. You can point them anywhere you want. So I'm hoping, those two fans will still be fine. We also have the max fan up there, which is very cool. I think I've got the remote here for the max fan. So you can see this. I've got the remote. Turn it on. It turns on. And we can blow air in. I think I can reverse it here. If I do that, you'll see it stops and turns the other way. So that's blowing. And then we can suck the air out. So with that, in combination of that and the Sirocco fans, I think we'll be okay. Let me turn that off. There we go. I've also run a couple of cables to the back of the van. The red one is the external solar panel. The black one is an auxiliary power source, which is running high amp cable all the way through to the batteries. Well, let's have a look inside. Okay. We got the reversing camera, or the rear camera. It's not a reversing camera. We got it to be a reversing camera. I did have this screen up here, and although you can move the camera to face the ground, I can't see the rear bumper. I can angle the camera at the back of the van down so that I can get closer to the rear bumper, but then at its highest point, that's all I can see, which is not good enough. I want it to be up here, like that. I bought this mount. This is gonna live here. And this, when I go into reverse, the reverse camera right above the bumper comes up here and is much better for reversing. This is just to see out the back. It has a front camera, so dash cam. That's out the front of the car. That's a split screen, so you got the front and the rear. Oops, push that button. So that's that. More smelly balls. Wendy's got her phone charger. I've got mine right here. It is a 6-speed manual gearbox. We got the 2.2 litre turbo diesel. I am having problems I'm not having problems with the radiator. I'm having problems flushing the radiator. I did a full flush on it, and then when I refilled the radiator, I only got 6 litres back in. It's supposed to take nearly 11 litres, 10.5 litres or 11 litres. Either I didn't get all of the original fluid out, or I've got a massive air pocket in the system. So I've got to try and work out, how I can do that. I've been looking at some YouTube videos and I've got some ideas there, but that's something I've got to deal with. Close this door. We got got 2 little tables. If I can find the other key. We've got 2 little tables there, which will be good for camping. We've got the Max Tracks, obviously. I get bogged a lot. And up the top, we've got the Fiamma awning. So anyway, I think that's enough for the moment. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.